All right, we are back with the Nintendo 3DS. This is Josh from TheBitBlock.com, and we're going to go on a little video demonstration of the friend roster on the system. In case you don't already know, the Wi-Fi service on the Nintendo 3DS is pretty greatly improved over Nintendo's past offerings on the Wii and the DS. One reason it's improved is that you only have one friend code assigned to playing on Wi-Fi. So in other words, you don't need a friend code for Mario Kart and Animal Crossing and the system. It's only one unified code for doing everything. So if you have your friend's code, you are ready to play any game or any piece of software on the 3DS. So obviously that's really cool. So we're in my friend roster right now. This front card is telling me that there is one friend currently online. But before we check that out, I did want to very quickly just explain that to control things, to navigate here, you can use the D-pad, left and right, to cycle through all the different cards, or you can use the circle pad, which is pretty quick. But personally, I just prefer to use the touchscreen and the stylus because, you know, it's much easier to just touch and you can kind of click and drag. This would be really beneficial if you had a lot of friends and you just need to really quickly cycle through them. So, all right, there you go. That's really, you know, it's really easy to control here. The interface is very accessible and it's nothing you really have to think about. So here's my information. On the top screen, it gives me my Mii. I'm just kind of waddling back and forth there. And it shows your name. This would be the name of the Mii. And then underneath that shows my friend code. Feel free to add that and send me a message if you want to trade friend codes. I'd be more than happy to do that. Leave them at this post at TheBitBlock.com. And then underneath here, you can also add a little status. You know, some people like to be cute. I was pretty lame. I just put 3D. You know, I'm sure you could think of something better than that. And you can update that whenever you want to. So let's move on to some of my friends. Let's start off with somebody that's currently online. So Craig is playing some Bust-A-Move Universe on his 3DS. It shows his Mii. It's kind of cute the way it actually shows the Mii playing a little virtual 3DS. Once again, it gives me his name and it gives me his friend code. And then underneath here, he's got his little status update as well. So a lot of information, and it's kind of cool to be able to see what your friends are doing. It's really interesting because it's not just limited to an actual game. Maybe Craig is taking photos on his 3DS or listening to music. It will show me that information as well. And one thing that I thought was really crazy is that, let's say Craig or Raw Meat Cowboy are actually currently taking photos, it will update me as to how many photos they're taking. So one night, I actually noticed that Raw Meat Cowboy was taking photos, and it went from, like, I don't know, 14 to 18, like, with a live update. And it's, of course, that's because I'm stalking Raw Meat Cowboy, and I want to know what he's doing at all hours of the day. But, you know, it's cool. And, like, the music, it will show you how many MP3s or how many music files they're listening to. So a lot of crazy information here. Now, Craig's online and he's having some fun with his 3DS, but Raw Meat Cowboy, I don't know where this man is. He's missing in action. He's not currently playing his 3DS, unfortunately. But it gives us an idea as to what it's like when somebody's offline. It shows, you know, what the last game he was playing, which was Steel Diver, and also gives me an estimate as to when he was last playing his 3DS. So, you know, some cool information. And his little status is, "My body is ready," which is a Reggie Fils-Aimé quote. All right, now let's get into actually adding a friend to my friend roster. So I'm going to add Nintendan here. So I'll type in his code. You can also add a friend wirelessly. Like if you're in the same room and you really don't feel like typing out the code, you can do it that way. 54. All right. And now you'll see that very quickly. It's going to, you know, add him to my list. And there he is. Instantly gives me all of his information. Shows that he was last playing some Pilot Wings Resort. Unfortunately, Nintendan is not online right now, but oh well. And it's really interesting because I'm playing a Japanese 3DS right now, and yet it still gives me information like that he's playing Pilot Wings or, you know, that Raw Meat Cowboy is playing Steel Diver. Those two games are obviously not out in Japan yet. So I think that is a pretty good thumbnail of the friend roster on the Nintendo 3DS. It's, like I said, greatly improved over Nintendo's past Wi-Fi outings, and you know, it's great to be able to see what your friends are doing, and one friend code per system that works for every game is obviously a huge improvement in and of itself. Okay, and finally, very quickly, just to wrap up this video demonstration, I thought it was pretty important to give you an idea as to what it's like if you're playing a game and you want to check in on your friends to see if maybe they're playing something that's more interesting and you want to join them on Wi-Fi instead. So here I am, playing some Nintendogs. My animals are pretty bored of me, so I'm going to hit the home menu button. And when I do that, you can see that it's telling me that 2 of my friends are currently online. So if I touch the little smiley face, it will bring up my friend roster. And here we go. We've got Craig is playing the Street Pass Me Plaza, and Raw is playing some Super Monkey Ball 3D. So let's say, you know, maybe it's a year down the line and Mario Kart is out, and I see that Raw Meat Cowboy and Craig are duking it out in Mario Kart, and I want to join them. Now I would know to do that because I was able to check in. So if I wanted to, I could say, all right, well, I want to hurry up and get into Mario Kart. I'm going to jump back into Nintendogs really quickly. So I'm pressing the home button, and you can see I rejoined Nintendogs, and I don't miss anything. I can save, and then I could, you know, pop the game out and jump into Mario Kart. So, you know, it's really cool how multitasking and being able to jump into your friend roster and then back into whatever you were doing is a core functionality into the 3DS. And eventually, I'm sure you'll be able to, you know, send messages and do other things with your friends that you currently cannot do. Nintendo's already talked about that, so it will be, you know, integrated into an update eventually. But I think that's a pretty good overall look at the friend roster on the Nintendo 3DS. If you have any more questions at all, feel free to stop by TheBitBlock.com and, you know, leave your questions in this post. Until then, I will see you guys later.